All right, thank you for joining. Today we will go over Bitcoin, and I'll choose another altcoin to go over shortly. Should be very straightforward like all my videos. And what we're going to do here is just take a quick look at what Bitcoin's doing. It's been quite a little while since I made a last video, but nonetheless, let's get to it. So clearly you can see we do have an overall range when it comes to Bitcoin, right? So if I'll just use this box, you'll see that's the high, that's the low, and this is the current range we're trading in, right? So higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and a higher low looks like it was just put in on the monthly, which is a very big deal. So with that being said, we can basically just determine that this is technically the overall range, right? Now, if we wanted to take a look at the overall range, we can see price came all the way down, went right to 75% of this retracement, right? Which is a very interesting level to keep in mind, because it seems like stocks and crypto have been respecting that level a lot. That's where we've been getting a lot of reactions. So if we went from the bottom to the top of the overall range, you can see 50% of that range has been respected, 75% has been respected, came down a little bit here, probably went to like the 886, something around there. And we're getting a nice reaction, right into these local highs. So what can we really expect next from Bitcoin? Because if we were to expect and think that this bullish momentum will continue, it is a possibility. It's also a possibility that, we can go like this, continue, make higher highs, but then we can also come up and start to make lower highs, right? Leading into a bear market. It is very possible. So which one of these two outcomes is more than likely to happen? No one knows, to be honest, right? All we can do is try to trade the charts and what the chart gives us. And what the chart gives us right now is that Bitcoin is locally bullish. So we could keep this in mind, maybe go ahead, let me just drop this down to my, pull the nav on this, right? Boom, keep that on there for reference. Now, we can go ahead and you'll see we'll mark out the swing high for the monthly and a swing low for the monthly. So this is another range that Bitcoin is currently trading in, right? This is the most relevant range because it is a monthly range and these pivots were just set in. So this is really where Bitcoin is going to be put to the test. We're going to see a lot of key levels in here come into action over the next few weeks. And let's just go ahead and jump down to the daily chart. You can see this daily level here, right? Support resistance level. We're trying to break out of a nice bullish candle. Clearly, if we were to add a support resistance box, what we would like to see is Bitcoin come up, start building some value above, and then start aiming to the upside, right? With that being said, you can see there's going to be a lot of resistance coming in at the 50% off that monthly range, right? So if we do reclaim this $92,000, $93,000 area, then in my opinion, there's nothing really stopping it until we get to around $102,000, right? And of course, it's going to be resting liquidity right at around 107,000, which will be the overall target. So right now, things are looking very bullish. You're getting a lot of bullish daily candles, one-time framing to the upside since December 29th. So ever since December 29th, every single day has had higher closes, which is definitely very bullish. And that's going to lead the rest of the market to be bullish too as well. So for Bitcoin, the best thing to do, keep it very simple. There's still a CME gap right here at 90,000. Maybe you get a flash crash very shortly. Maybe not, but as of right now, very bullish. Seems like any pullbacks would just make sense to long. You'll see here, you had a pullback here, pretty much swept these lows. That would have been an interesting time to long. You had another pullback here. Didn't really sweep the lows, even though this was a pivot. You can technically call that a swept of the lows. impulse higher. Now it's reaching for new highs once again, right? So very bullish. And of course, Ethereum is most likely going to follow suit. Same thing, just pumping, blasting. Could do the same thing with Ethereum. Let's look at the monthly range. Most likely has another pivot as well, just like Bitcoin. So if we were to pull highs to lows, let's go down to the daily. 50% comes in around 3,700. Yeah, you know, I see a lot of liquidity. Just these lows I don't really like too much. It seems like it's just a nice target. They never were swept. You know, I would not be surprised if something like this was to happen out of nowhere before really taking off. But if not, then yeah, you know, we just play level to level. The next target after here is easily 3,800. Once that's flipped, really want to target around 4,400, and then you target the all-time highs. That's for Ethereum. All right, so let's see if there's any other altcoins which is looking kind of bullish. Let's see here, crypto, even Solana. Right, let's take a look at Solana. Marked out some pivot lows, swing lows. This was a key low marked out. This is a weekly pivot or swing low, which was taken out, right? So weekly low. This was another weekly low here. Took both of them out actually, right? So even if I was to clone this, pull it here, you'll see swept it twice. 1, 2, 3 times, tested this level, now impulsing higher. So for Solana, the easy target is obviously $146. That's just where the next area of resting liquidity is. So even if it was to move down lower, I would at least expect to see it go to the upside before possibly rolling over, right? So in my opinion, I don't see it moving lower until it takes out $146. And then once you get there, you want to be a little more cautious, maybe take some profits. Not maybe, definitely take some profits in my opinion, not financial advice. And yeah, you would just start aiming for the next relevant level, which comes in here at $171. And once that's flipped, then obviously target 188 and then 205. So all these swing highs you want to target. Once you start getting some bullish momentum after reclaiming previous, turning previous resistance into support. Right? So once again, pretty much one time framing since December 29th, just bullish, bullish, bullish. You're a little bit late to the party now. So if you wanted to go long, you can clearly tell that price hesitated around this level, right? Rejected, came down, came up, rejected, rejected, came up, slowed down in here, as you can see. So slow down, slow down. That's why big candle, slow down, small candle, big candle, right? So the chart tells you pretty much everything you need to know. So in my opinion, where would you want to look for a long is another retest of this zone, which it pretty much did with this candle, right? So yeah, you might have missed it. Obviously blasting off here. And yeah, the next target is just 146,000. I don't really see much slowing these down. Solana is up 4% on the day, so 10% I would not be surprised to see. Let's see, another 5% from here would have it at, look at that, right? At the first target. So these 10% days can definitely happen. I would not be surprised to see another 4 to 5% today within the next 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours. So everything is very bullish. I mean, anything you click on for the most part, it's just going to be bullish. That's an actual project. Stable, I don't really know too much about. Trump coin, I think, has been blasting. Yep, still moving up. XRP, still moving up. ADA, after it died a lot, it is having a nice little pump. Relief rally. Aster also looks pretty nice. I was charting this out a lot. Yeah, Aster for me, the target is pretty much $1. That is the next target. Yeah, just gotta trade it level to level, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing else. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Follow me on X. I do post pretty often. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. thank you once again for joining. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below with one project you'd like to see me go over. Okay. And that's pretty much it. Take care.